Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Montreal Canadiens game recap. That was a fun game. Wow, the Habs went up 2-0, fall down 3-2. They blow the 2-0 lead. Ottawa then blows a 3-2 lead with 58 left, and the Habs win in overtime. If you saw my description, even that does not do the game justice. Overtime was a bit boring at points in the first minute or two, but after that, it just exploded, and the entire game was really, really fun. That felt like honestly for me, that felt like second round playoff hockey. It's not as exciting as the first or the finals, but it was still quite fun. So of course we're going to get into the actual recap, and go through my notes. And of course, anyone who is joining in chat during the live session can chat in the chat, obviously, can comment in the chat section and I'll read it. Anyone who's watching the VOD, you can leave your comments about what you thought about this game. My apologies if my voice goes out a little bit. I've been yelling quite a bit during the game, especially during Habs goals, and especially that overtime winner, which we'll get to in about 30 minutes as it looks to be. Take a squirt of sports drink, totally not water. Hashtag not sponsored either, sadly. But yeah, so we're going to get right into the recap. First off, the Habs played quite well early on, despite being outshot 6-2. Hey, Jesse, how you doing, my man? But yeah, the Habs played quite well early on. The shots were 6-2 for Ottawa, though, but they did apply the pressure. They did apply a bit of pressure. I really hope my mic didn't just cut out because I accidentally moved the wire. Weber with a big slap shot. I almost said in a goal, but he did not score, sadly. A few good chances. We'll see one example later. But a good save by Anders Nielsen for Ottawa with the Weber slap shot. Gallagher Tatar seemed to be working quite well tonight, and we'll get more on that later, actually. But early on, Tatar and Gallagher were looking very, very good playing together on the wing with Danault at center. Price with a great turnover save. Chiarot then takes the gloves off with Bobby Ryan. Pretty good work for him with him standing up for Price after he gets hit a little bit by Bobby Ryan, who's had a history of hand injuries. So I honestly would not be surprised. Habs losing next game. Jesse, you shut up. Habs are not losing next game. With the Price turnover save, that was a good one. And then of course, I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby Ryan gets is out for a while with a hand injury. I mean, he was still playing the rest of the game, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And then Domi fought with Sabrin, proceeded to lose. And yet the Habs go on the power play for roughing call. The Hurricanes are better. Hey Jesse, I see you're catching up on your hockey knowledge, seeing that the Habs play the Hurricanes on in their first game. If you didn't know, which you probably didn't, Habs tried to offer sheet one of the Hurricanes players in the offseason. It did not go out well, but they tried. But Domi couldn't get the gloves off with Sabrin. Sabrin took the opportunity and kicked his ass, really. The first fight of the year for both guys, or at least I believe Sabrin. I know he was taunting Matthews the other night in Toronto, but I think Domi could possibly be the fighting leader for 10-3 Hurricanes win. Okay, Jesse, you might be a little ambitious there. Keep in mind, Carey Price is the best goaltender in the world. If the Hurricanes do win, I see it being an overtime situation. There's no way it's a 10-3 win. If it is a 10-3 win, I'll switch back to the old webcam, I guess. I don't know. I'll switch back to the old webcam for a game. The Habs took a roughing penalty. It was 5 penalties called in like 2 minutes. It was the Chiarot Ryan. Then it's a 3-2 win. There you go. The Chiarot Ryan, Domi Sabrin, and then Sabrin, which technically counts with the Domi and Sabrin fight. And then of course, I want to say it was Paling that went to the box for the holding. So it was really 6 penalties if you include individual penalties, but altogether it was 5 penalties called in a matter of like 2 minutes. to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk on Ottawa was bugging Price quite a bit during this game, and thankfully he did not score any. I even wrote I did not. I keep in mind I don't edit my notes at all except for little spelling errors. Like I think I wrote no non-goal instead of non-call. I fixed those, but I don't fix like anything I say early on. Wouldn't be surprised if Tkachuk scores 0 goals tonight since he isn't Sean Avery. And what do you know? He didn't score any goals tonight because he's not as good as Sean Avery and never will be. Paling. Oh no, okay, no. So it wasn't Paling that took the holding call. Oh no, I think it was Gallagher, or it might have been Byron. I should really write that down. Paling took an iffy penalty for tripping, which I say iffy. Yeah, I say iffy because it wasn't really 100% if it was a tripping or not. I didn't really see it as one, but I mean, better safe. Sorry to call it. Suzuki and Byron on a great penalty kill chance. They had a really good chance together. I believe it was Byron over to Suzuki. Suzuki had a really good chance with that. The Habs penalty kill is looking very, very good. It looked very, very good in the preseason. I want to say that we'll score quite a few shorthanded goals. I mean, we have a big boy speedy team. We have a big boy team with Weber and Chiarot, and we have a big boy speedy team with who do we got? Suzuki, Gallagher, Domi, arguably Domi, Byron, of course, Paling, Danault. We have a lot of speedy boys on our team, really. And speaking of shorthanded penalty kills, Phillip Danault opens the scoring with a shorthanded goal to get the Habs a 1-0 lead. That was a very, very good chance for Phillip Danault. It was a turnover that could have been a penalty on Byron, but it wasn't. Danault got the goal, and the go-ahead goal, really, that gave the Habs the 1-0 lead, and it was good. The Habs go on the power play with Tkachuk popping off Chiarot's helmet, which was a roughing call. Tkachuk was really just not good tonight. I do not like Brady Tkachuk. I don't see him as a very talented player at all. I really think his brother Matthew, I want to say he's in Vancouver, I think. He's better than Brady, definitely. Matthew will win a Stanley Cup before Brady, 100%. The Habs applied the pressure late in the period on the power play. And despite the shots being 13-11 at the end of the first for Ottawa, Montreal still got a bunch of really good shorthanded opportunities and quite a few opportunities late in the period with the power play, and of course the shorthanded goal by Danault. The Habs then got great pressure early on in the second with several shots. And speaking of shots, Tomas Tatar makes it 2-0 with the assist from Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher played a very, very good game tonight, I find. And we'll get more on that later as to why he did. But with the assist here setting up Tatar to make it 2-0, that was really good. And then Tatar with another nice chance, once again working well with Gallagher and Danault. I think that as our first line, maybe even as a second line, but as a first line, that's a really, really good first, in my opinion. I think that's a very underrated first line that the Habs have with Danault, Gallagher, and Tatar, and especially with the chemistry that those guys seem to have all together. I think that could definitely produce a lot of goals for the Habs this season. Brauman, I want to say it's Brauman, beats the Habs shutout, the Price shutout, but it was a distinct kicking motion, so it was called a no goal, and it's still 2-0 for the Habs. But it doesn't matter because Bobby Ryan, about a minute later, scores and makes it 2-1 with a very, very bad goal allowed by Price. And then Anthony Duclair burns Domi, scores a shorthanded goal. We're tied at 2. The Habs choked away the lead. It would have been 3-2 if that Brauman goal wasn't called back, which thankfully it was, because you could probably see by the title why. But Domi didn't play that great of a game tonight, I find. I forget why I said that, but because he got burned by Duclair. Domi wasn't playing that good of a game tonight. he just didn't look motivated. I'll say he didn't look like the typical Max Domi that I saw in Montreal last season. He wasn't slow or anything. He didn't look like he really cared out there that much. And then I missed part of it, but I saw Tkachuk was being taken out by Chiarot and Price. All I saw was Price behind the net, like punching Tkachuk like he did with what's his name a few years back. I forget who, but Price was just punching him in the back, and I want to say it was Radulov or Markov trying to pull him away from Price. That was funny. There was a non-call on Tkachuk for high sticking Cousins. I'm very surprised that wasn't called a penalty, but especially given it's Brady Tkachuk. But anyone with the first name Brady is pretty much just an asshole, I want to say. Suzuki with a great chance in front, but he couldn't get all of it. Suzuki, I think this game 100% guarantees he gets a roster spot. Suzuki is playing very, very well, and I think him on a second or third line, probably second, I would think, pushes Jonathan Drouin 100% out of that top six lineup. Jonathan Drouin has not done anything with the Habs in this preseason. He didn't do great at all in the final 29 games of last season. He got 3 points, I think it was, and 2 of them were goals. And the two games he scored in, the Habs won. So I mean, yeah, I guess you could say whenever Drouin scores, we win. But I mean, 2 games, come on. I mean, that's not to judge us on, judge him on for us winning. I really think Drouin should be out of Montreal. If not due to the fact that it'll get me more views, hopefully, because then I could jump right on live stream. Oh, Drouin was traded to Dallas or Honka Radulov in the first or something. Don't take my word on that. I'm not in a basement in Toronto. I'm in an attic in Montreal. What's his name? Bergevin. Chiarot with a phantom call that gives the Habs the power. Oh, excuse me, Chabot with a phantom call that really shouldn't have been called. It gives the Habs the power play again, and that is where we end the second period. And I could just give just a moment. I need to message a friend of mine, and then we'll get right back to the recap. But so far, the Habs, with them being tied 2-2 at the end of the period and on the power play, I was kind of nervous, honestly. As soon as my apologies, but with them being on the power play, I really didn't see the Habs coming back from this game when it was the end of the second. I was like, okay, I might as well just put the red jersey on and call it quits. But then I didn't, because I was like, okay, if somehow the Habs come back, I'm not going to want to change out of the jersey. Because if I put the white jersey on and we lose, it's just like I'll keep the white jersey on. I'll just duck here so it looks like I'm wearing the red jersey. But yeah. And of course now we get into the third. Well, not just yet. The projected lineups for the Habs showed Drouin and Suzuki on the first line and Thompson on the fourth. Personally, I find Drouin should not be on the first line. He hasn't proved himself in preseason. I think third, if anything, fourth line minutes would be best for Drouin. Yes, he's getting paid $5.5 million, but I mean, come on. The faster we trade the guy, the better it is for Montreal. I think Poehling should start as the fourth line center instead of Thompson. Thompson did quite well in the preseason, but I think Poehling would be better. I mean, I'm not 100%. I mean, if Poehling is going to play quite a bit on that fourth line, if he isn't, then I feel it would arguably be in a way better to start him in the minors. But I don't know. With him being on the fourth line, what he did last season, scoring or his first game, scoring a hat trick and the overtime winner. Obviously, he's not going to do that again. But I mean, I feel with Poehling, him being on the fourth line would still add. Poehling is obviously better than Thompson, but in a way, it's almost better if he does play in the minors, just give him more experience. But with the NHL roster, in a way, it would be better with Poehling because he'll probably get penalty kill and power play minutes, and of course, a shootout. shootout minutes, I guess, or shootout shot, I should say, a shot out shoot. NHL lol. Hey Jesse, you're back again. I see. But yeah, and then Suzuki, I think should be on second line. I originally said third or fourth, but I'm changing that now. He should be second line right winger. With this game, he absolutely showed why he should be on that second line. Because obviously, he has shown with this game, he deserves that NHL spot. Obviously, he's not going to be first line because Tatar, Danault, and Gallagher is probably going to be that first line. But the Suzuki, he definitely deserves that. He definitely deserves to have the cold today 24. Ooh, that's not too good, Jesse. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about yourself, but yeah, 24 degrees. It is. It's a little chilly. Not nothing major. I mean, it's not nothing I need a jersey on the whole day for. But Suzuki, second line winger, absolutely should be that. Also, Jesse, I don't mean to be ignoring you. I'm trying to focus on the recap right now. Obviously, you can keep commenting. 19 in LA. Ooh, that's probably not too good, honestly. But my apologies if I'm just if it seems like I'm rushing through your comments. It's just I want to get through the Habs recap as soon as possible to get to any chats before ending the stream for the night. 15-14. Hey, thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it, buddy. 15-4 were the shots for Ottawa on the second. 28-25 total, and it's tied after two. As I mentioned like 18 times already. The Habs blew the. Oh yeah, I put Habs are blowing the 2-0 lead and will lose 4-2 is my prediction. Thankfully, I'm wrong, but a team did score 4 goals, as you could probably tell, and we had 4 viewers for a split second just now. I'm going to unravel the mic slightly. My apologies if anyone's getting ear raped by my mic being too close to me. I'm just trying to make sure it's actually plugged in. The Habs go 4-0 in the power play with the Shabbat call. Obviously, them not scoring a power play goal. Their power play really sucks right now. I think they scored those 2 power play goals, and they haven't scored since. They scored the 2 power play goals against the Senators. I believe it was the Senators. And then they haven't scored since on the power play, I should say. Well, they really hadn't scored since until this game. But the PK, on the other hand, isn't too bad. Scoring 4 shorthanded goals in 7 games is really good. And also, they're killing off the penalties and not allowing. I think they only allowed 2 goals, I want to say, on close to 20 power plays. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to get the exact stats before I talk any more about that. But and speaking of stats, tune in within the next few days. I'm not exactly 100% sure when, but I'm going to do the Habs season preview. I'm going to get it out before the TSN people can get it out, just so I can say, I'm before yous. I'm not going to rush it, obviously. I'm going to go game by game, analyze what I think is most likely to happen, talk about my concerns and worries for the season, and I'm not going to predict every game, obviously, but there are some that I'm going to predict. For example, the season opener, I'm 100% going to predict because it's the next Habs game that's coming up, and we more than likely know who's going to be in the starting lineup, as opposed to in, say, the final game of the season, where if for some reason it could be an entirely different squad, which it probably won't be. It won't be the Suicide Squad. I don't think so. Habs lose, says Jesse. Don't you dare, Jesse. Don't go there. They're not losing to the Kings. They already lost like twice to the Kings last season. They don't need more losses to them. Habs still beat them in 93 for their final cup, and then the Kings proceeded to win 2 in 2010, 2012, as you probably know. 2010? Yeah, 2010, 2011, 2013. Kotkaniemi didn't get much ice time tonight, which I honestly think he could start on the 4th line. I think, if anything, going back to the Poehling thing, Poehling gets 3rd line minutes, Kotkaniemi starts on the 4th line. And I have to use something that the hockey guy said. I have to obviously quote him. Otherwise, people, if they see that video, they're going to be like, oh, you were copying him. I was like, oh, I didn't mention it. But I'm going to mention the hockey guy said, if a guy's not playing well, and he said this especially in reference to very much overpaid Patrick Laine, if a guy is not doing well, don't put him on your first line. And I'm quoting verbatim, keep in mind. Or not, I'm quoting, I'm paraphrasing, I should say. Don't put a guy who's slumping down on the second and third line on your first line, risk tearing apart the chemistry you've got there just to try and elevate one guy and lose three guys going down. That's what happened with Laine. Everyone was saying, oh, put him on the first line. Just put him on the first line, and he'll play with the best players in the NHL because Laine is an asshole. But no. Scheifele, Wheeler, and what's his name, Connor, were doing great together last season. Laine was terrible. 50 points is not good for him. Not good in general when you're getting paid that much. 6-7 mil, 50 points. I'm not buying it, honestly. I trade Laine. I would have traded Laine already, honestly. But that's besides the point. Kotkaniemi, I think, should start fourth line minutes. Put Paling on the third line. Let those two work out whatever they got. If Kotkaniemi starts working, put him up higher then, in my opinion. Not too impressive in preseason, which of course means he'll probably score a hat trick in the first game of the season, is what I put. So Kotkaniemi, if he does score a hat trick in the first game of the season, you know who said it here first. Domi from Suzuki misses a great chance on net, which sadly very much missed. And then a bad penalty by Paling with a tripping call. And then Price being Price, several great saves, and the most recent one at the time being on Tyranny. He also stopped. I want to say it was another shot by Duclair. Price was very, very good tonight, except for one big thing, which we're about to get to. Weber nearly scores a power play goal, but on the backhand, all he can do is bring it into the pads of Nielsen. 0 for 5 on the power play. I need a sip of sports drink before I continue. And then Armia sends the puck down for Weber, goes past the blue line into the Habs zone. Weber's going to get it. So what does Price do? Naturally, he comes out of his crease to play the puck. And I don't blame Price, honestly. I don't blame Price for doing that. He's one of the best puck handlers, one of the best goalie puck handlers in the NHL. What does he do? Instead of flicking it out to Weber or just stopping the puck and going back to his crease, he throws it right to Ottawa, who then score on a wide open net after Weber and Price both flop down. Yeah. And I was saying right then and there, Price, you dumbass. And he was. The same thing happened with Caden Primo, and I want to say it was his preseason debut. He went out to get the puck. It was a different thing that happened, but still, he went to go play the puck, went on a bad angle, went into the net, broke his shutout, and tied the game. Obviously, the Habs ended up winning. I believe also in overtime it was against the Devils, I believe. But moral, don't go out to play the puck. Just go out, touch it, leave it there, go back to your crease, make sure your guy's going to get the puck. Don't play it. Don't play the puck. That's something every NHL goaltender should know by now. Price embarrassed himself in the last game of the season, 2 seasons ago, giving the puck to Matthews right in front of the net, which was pretty much the allegory of what the Habs season was. Complete another disappointment and laughing at them. Last season, final game of the season, I guess, we're great, but we're not there exactly. I don't know. What's this season going to be? Other domination? We can hope as Habs fans, or at least Jesse probably won't hope as a not Habs fan. But then Brendan Gallagher. It was Petrie. Gallagher passed it to Petrie. Slap shot. Gallagher tips it in front. Habs tied it up with 58. I want to say it was 58.7 seconds left. Price was pulled. I even said when they were doing the faceoff, I was like, all right, this is it. This is the 4-2 empty netter. Part of me wanted to be right just so I could say, all right, yeah, I predicted it, 4-2 loss. But I am extremely happy the Habs did tie it up. And then they managed to hold off the Senators till the end of the period and don't get them scoring. Tkachuk being a dirty player, though, Habs going to be second to last in the division by the end of the season. No, Jesse, don't you dare say that. Don't tell me the Detroit Red Wings are going to be better than the Montreal Canadiens, because they're not. They don't have goaltending. They don't have good defense. They don't have good offense. But Tkachuk being a dirty player, pinning down Chiarot after the whistle. I'm hoping Brady Tkachuk is suspended at some point during the season. He's obviously not as bad as Tom Wilson. Tom headshot when your back is turned to Wilson, but he's still bad. He's not Brad Marchand in terms of overreaction, but he's not Tom Wilson in terms of you're an asshole just yet, at least. Kid's 21. He's got a couple years to be Tom Wilson. He probably will be Tom Wilson, honestly. Byron fans on a shot from Domi. I believe it was Domi in overtime. Byron with a great defensive play to stop the puck getting turned over and stop the puck on a 2-on-1. Petrie misses. Petrie then gets on a breakaway. He misses. Down the other way. Anthony Duclair for his second goal of the game. Price robs him, and then right near the benches, Bobby Ryan and Jeff Petrie are tying it up right after the whistle. Great sequence of events. That is something you pretty much could do in an NHL game. That is just amazing what happened, and I love it. I want to see more of that during the season. Tatar then fanned on a shot from Danault, but it doesn't matter because Nick Suzuki gets the puck. And on a wraparound that I was thinking went wide, the overtime winner, Nick Suzuki, that cements him as a roster player. That right there, the overtime game winner with Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki just is the first star of the game, honestly. Nick Suzuki, I can't give enough praise to that kid. He's going to be something big. And the fact we got him in the Max Pacioretty trade with Tomas Tatar and a 20 and a second round pick that I forget who we picked up. I think we might have swapped it actually. But it's the fact that we got Suzuki in that deal. Tatar played great last season. Hopefully he'll play great this season again. But the fact that Suzuki played fantastic last year in minors and overtime winner tonight, had a lot of good play time out there. I believe he was on the first line or second line. No, he had to have been on the second line because Tatar, Gallagher, and Danault were the first line. Playing on the second line or third line if he was even there, even fourth line, especially if he was on the fourth line, he really made an impression tonight. Phillip, Nick Suzuki was just fantastic tonight, and I can't give the kid enough praise. He's going to be great for us, I think. With that being said, I'm going to end it here. This has been going on for 28 minutes. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, and everything, which includes but is not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My mouth is very, very dry. My name's Harry Rice. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I don't use my Twitter too often. Twitch I probably won't ever use, I don't think. But just in case, follow me on there. My Amazon wish list is down there. If for some reason you're a big fan of mine and want to get me something off there, I don't advise it, but if you do, it's there if you want to. My letterbox is also down in the description. That's where I can review movies. Of course, I do want to do more movie reviews on here, but my letterbox is pretty much for quick and simple. What has Harry watched recently, or in general, list right there. My name is Harry Rice. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to join the Puff Club. Subscribe to join the HD Club. Shout out once again to Jesse in the chat, who's been the only one talking, for buying me the webcam that I'm using right now. It was on my Amazon wish list. That's one of the few actual valuable purchases, I think, that would be on there. Actual improvements to the stream that would be on my wish list. Jesse, being an OG, purchasing that for me. I can't give him enough shout outs. I'm going to probably shout him out every single stream he's here. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Harry Rice, and I am out. Peace.